In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, my name is Anthony Kelly and I am a student at Roadstead Montessori High School.
Okay, just one. I want.
Hello,
Wait.
my name is Anthony Kelly.
Wait. Okay.
Hello, my name is Anthony Kelly and I am a student at Roadstead Montessori High School.
So what is it that you have behind you? What is that thing? What are you standing in front of?
Okay. What I am standing in front of is a prototype of a concentrated solar power plant.
What is a concentrated solar power plant?
Let me get a good paragraph. Okay. Alright. A concentrated solar power plant is a solar power plant that focuses sunlight on a working fluid. Is that good?
Just don't do that. Don't say, is that good or is that
I'm gonna
okay?
re-say it,
Just
because I
pause.
wanna make
Okay.
sure that, 'cause I wasn't too sure about that
Okay.
one.
Go ahead.
So concentrated solar
Concentrated solar power plant takes heat from the sun,
focuses on.
boils water,
Okay.
turns a turbine, and a motor produces electricity.
Okay. Okay. A concentrated solar power plant takes heat from the sun, boils water, spins a turbine and a motor, and creates electricity. I missed something.
That was fine. That was fine. It was
It's
fine.
Okay.
It was fine.
Fine.
Okay, we are rolling anytime.
So this mylar is going to attach to the frame. Just start with that. Look at the camera when you're saying.
This mylar is going to attach to the frame.
And what is it going to do?
The sun is going to hit it, and it's going to touch the steam pipe.
The sun's going to hit the mylar
Yes.
and focus on the steam pipe.
The sun's going to hit the mylar, and
The
Focus.
sun is going to hit the mylar and focus on the steam pipe.
the sun is going to hit the mylar and focus on the steam pipe.
All right.
How awkward.
What? Let me say it again. A little bit simpler.
When the water is heated up, it will turn to steam.
Is it okay that he's kind of, it's all kind of the same shot?
The
Water is heated up, it will turn to steam.
When the water is heated up, it will turn to steam.
Okay. All right.
Let me go over my lines real quick.
Okay.
The sunlight will hit the reflector, then will go to the steam.
Start again if you would. That was a really noisy car. And go.
When the sunlight hits the reflector, it will then go to the steam pipe. The water in the steam pipe will then boil and turn to steam. The steam will then go to the turbine, and then through a condenser, it will go back to liquid. This, start over. Alright. So when I say through the condenser, it turns back to liquid, can I just say like this, just say this generates electricity? Does that make sense, or do I need to explain that?
When the steam turns.
Okay. We are rolling.
When the sunlight hits the reflector, it will then go to the steam pipe. The water in the steam pipes will then boil and turn to steam. This steam will turn the turbine generator that will generate electricity.
The steam. Sorry.
Right.
The steam. Okay. Okay, say it one more time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Steam comes out.
The steam goes into the turbine and
Comes out
Comes
of the
out of the
turbine.
turbine into the condenser.
the steam comes out of the turbine and into the condenser and turns the heat to water. The water to
Steam
heat.
comes out of the turbine.
Okay. This.
The steam comes out of the Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Out of the turbine.
Yeah.
The steam comes out of the condenser.
Nope. Out of the turbine into the condenser.
Oh. Okay, sorry. The steam comes out of the condenser.
No, comes out of the turbine
Turbine.
into the
Oh my
condenser.
god. The steam.
All right, just take a
comes
breath.
out-
Take a breath.
Okay. The steam comes out of the turbine and goes back into the condenser. And the liquid and gas. There's something.
Okay.
Wait, can I say the last one first?
No.
No, because it wouldn't make
Makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Could he just say the condenser
God.
changes it from a gas to a liquid? Wouldn't that be easier?
Say again?
Say the condenser changes it from a
From
gas
steam to a
yeah, you say
liquid.
from steam to liquid. That way, you say the condenser changes it from steam to liquid.
Okay.
Try it one more time. Steam comes out of the turbine, goes into the condenser, turns back to liquid water.
Steam comes out of the turbine, comes back into the condenser, and the steam turns into water.
Boom! That was great. Let's rotate this whole thing. We're going to try to match this picture. We're going to just rotate it all the way around. So the same angle, just the opposite. Please. There we go. Let's keep going. Another turn. Like so. Perfect. All right, so hold that.
Okay, we are rolling.
This top bar right here is called a parabola. This is where the mylar will lay. When parallel lines hit the mylar, it will then focus right onto the steam pipe.
Nice.
It was good.
Very nice. We're rolling.
This steam pipe right here has a 1/2 inch diameter.
This parabola shaped mylar is 60 inches.
That means that is an equivalent of 6. Wait, we gotta start over.
Yeah.
120?
120.
Alright, sorry. Ready? Okay. This steam pipe right here has a 1/2 inch diameter.
This parabola shaped steam pipe.
Mylar.
Mylar.
Okay, I think I'm making this
Okay.
It's the camera.
Yep. Okay, ready?
This steam pipe right here has a 1/2 inch diameter.
This parabola shaped mylar is 60 inches.
That is an equivalent of 120 suns heating this steam pipe, which means that the steam pipe's going to get incredibly hot.
Nice.
Summer drop.
Still stand in front of the
Sorry, I
camera.
didn't
You're
know
not
if it was on or
looking.
not.
You guys all right?
I'm gonna be halfway inside
Are we
this.
just going straight back?
We're gonna go over to where Mackenzie is.
She's moving.
About to get hot.
Ow, my eyes, I'm blind.
Oh, that is really bad.
Hot, right?
Blinded me. It's just, yeah, it's extremely hot and it's really reflective.
So I want to stand.
It got hot in that as you moved it out into the sun?
That's the point. I
Wow.
don't think we need them. I think we just do. So these should be just kind of hand tight.
So can we have
Hand loosen something, you hand tighten.
can we have somebody doing this one and someone doing that one
You'd be able to hand loosen it
at the
if you
same
hand
time?
tighten.
Can you do these in
Oh, I
front?
thought you were saying that we're going to hand tighten
just
it.
messing with you, dude.
I was like,
Anthony, can you do the one in the one front and then have somebody else do this one? But wait until we're rolling.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it a little bit looser. Oh, it's blinding.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, it's quite bad.
All right, Jack, you're over here.
It hurts.
Make sure to get a good picture of him with his eyes squinting because it kind of hurts.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, what are we doing? Are we tightening?
No,
Okay, so
no,
all-
you're taking that bolt off.
All right, Mackenzie, Sumner, come on over. Okay, they're gonna take this thing off. Then you guys are gonna come in here and you're gonna grab this frame here. So this whole part that moves. Sumner, you'll be over here where Anthony is, and you're gonna grab this frame here. Actually, are we gonna hit the camera? Do we need to step back?
No, you're fine.
Okay. You're gonna just slide the whole thing out. Does that make sense? Okay. Maybe step back a little so that they can.
Okay.
You're not blocking these guys. Step back out of the shot for just a second.
Do I smile while I'm doing this?
I don't understand.
No, you can
what
be
we're doing.
serious. You don't have to
All
smile.
we're doing is trying to get a shot of you guys taking the thing apart and putting it together.
No, I mean with this, do we have to unscrew
You're going
these?
to unscrew
Yeah.
That's what you're
that
doing,
bolt,
is unscrewing
and
those
unscrew this
bolts.
bolt,
Okay, okay.
And then slide it off the hole, slide off the hole, and then just lift it off that direction.
Now the geometer.
Okay, ready, guys?
Ah, okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, unscrew the bolts.
Hold on a second, Judy.
That's okay, you can be in it.
The head needs to...
I told you.
I didn't realize you said anything.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, so hot.
It's like not going anywhere. What? It's just like going back and forth.
I know, it's flat.
When you're doing a bolt, you have to hold the screw head.
That's what I'm doing. It's like you get there. It was like at the end.
I think it's just because you got another one.
Oh, it's just because I both on. See, I can't even feel it in my hand.
Grab that.
I'm ready. Just don't shove this forward.
Nice. Nice.
Where are we going?
Okay, now you guys step in, and what are they doing?
So now just lift the whole thing out. It's going to slide this way. How'd that work? Is that good?
That look good.
Be careful, that thing will cut you. You're putting a knife on your head.
Yeah.
Okay, so then with the next step, will the next step be putting it back together?
I think
Or,
that's a good idea. What do you think, Aaron?
yeah.
All right, so let's do the same thing in reverse. You guys just kind of walk in and slide it in place.
So they're going to take this piece first, right? The big piece?
God, you're right.
You're on camera.
It's bright.
Good.
Is it weird to watch other people just move your something you work really hard on?
All right, and you bring that piece back, right? Good.
Come over top. You can just hold it. I'll come and bolt it.
I'm sorry.
Smooth.
That's for the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh yeah.
Okay. All of them. Right, can you hold it first?
See why we need the greenhouse?
Cool.
What do you think?
That was okay. Alrighty. Alright, you want to take the Mylar off? And let's do some more shots. Let's do the taking apart and putting together again.
Can you guys grab the bar?
Grab what?
Grab the Mylar bar. Mylar bar.
Can you grab it?
Mylar bar.
I'm blind forever. I almost wish it would happen instead of teaching this.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Just to teach your lesson, okay. We'll probably get him.
Now the sun's
I'm not
going.
amused.
A little less noisy.
I wonder how many times Stevie Wonder's been given the middle finger without even knowing.
It's a great question.
I would do that all the time.
Okay, ready whenever you are. Okay. All right, let me get a slightly different angle and then, all right, we're rolling. Nice.
Okay.
Rolling.
Does the sun move around the Earth, or does the Earth move around the sun?
The Earth moves around the sun?
Okay, elaborate on it.
Oh, why don't you start over here next to the picture and then walk over there to show the movement? That'd be perfect. Yeah, do your answer that question again.
The Earth moves around the sun.
Okay, so let's see if we can elaborate that. So the Earth spins on its axis and it travels around the sun at the same time. So in a single day, it spins around the axis one time. In a single year, it rotates around the Earth, around the sun. The whole planet moves around the sun. But from humans' perspective, it looks like the sun is moving through the sky. Does that make sense? And that's called the apparent movement of the sun.
Okay.
Can you say something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can you repeat that really
Sure.
quickly? Sorry.
It's okay.
The sun. That's called the apparent movement of the sun.
Okay. And one day the sun moved.
No, the Earth.
The Earth moves.
And one day the Earth moves around the sun and tilts on its axis.
One day the Earth moves around its own axis. It
The Earth
spins
moves
around its
around
own axis.
Okay. And one day the Earth spins around its own axis. In 1 year, the sun.
It's the Earth moving around the sun.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
And one day the Earth spins around its own axis. In 1 year, the Earth moves around the sun. That's called the apparent movement of the sun. Oh, wait.
But
Okay,
from while we're standing on the Earth, it looks like the sun is moving around.
do I have to re-say the whole thing?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. In 1 day, the Earth tilts around its axis.
It doesn't tilt. The Earth turns on its axis.
Turns on its axis. Oh. Okay. In 1 day, the sun turns on its axis.
Okay, don't don't scratch your nose.
Okay.
You got Dallas tongue. Come on.
Sorry, I'm not good in front of the camera.
Outside is quarantine.
Okay, in 1 day, the Earth turns around its axis. In 1 year, the Earth turns around the sun.
All right.
So in 1 day, the Earth turns around on its axis, and in 1 year, it revolves around the sun. But from the human perspective, it looks like the sun is moving. That's the apparent movement of the sun.
Okay.
So from a human perspective...
Okay, don't say so, because
Yeah.
it's like you're continuing.
Just a habit.
Yeah.
From a human perspective, it looks like the sun is moving around the Earth, but in reality, the Earth is
One more
rotating.
time.
All right, yeah. So from a human's perspective, it looks like the sun's moving around the Earth, but in reality, the Earth in 1 day is turning around on its axis, and in a year revolves around the sun. That's the apparent movement of the sun.
Okay. Okay, let's try it one more time for safety.
Okay. From a human's perspective, it looks like the sun is moving around the Earth, but in reality, in a day, the Earth turns on its axis, and in a year revolves around the sun. That's the apparent movement of the sun.
Okay.
Good. Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
While she practices, can I put my arms down?
No, because she's going to practice pointing to
Okay.
it.
Okay. Every 6 months, the sun moves. No. Yeah. The sun moves 23. Okay. Every 6 months, the sun moves 23.5 degrees north and south. In the wintertime, it is lower in the sky, and in the summertime, it's higher in the sky. Solar tracker will eventually be able to follow the movement of the sun with a motorized tracker thing. It will go 23 degrees up and 23 degrees down.
That was pretty good.
Go ahead.
Every 6 months, the sun moves lower in the sky. When it's wintertime, the sun is lower in the sky. When it's
Start
summertime,
over.
Sorry.
You got that kind of tongue tied there. Do it.
Oh.
Yeah, every
You
6
said
months.
lower every 6 months it moves lower in the sky. It's going to
Oh, sorry.
eventually disappear.
Yeah, definitely moves lower. Every 6 months, the movement of the sun changes. When it's wintertime, the sun is lower in the sky. When it's summertime, the sun is higher in the sky. It moves from north to south. The solar tracker will change when the sun changes. Like, it'll move 23 degrees higher when it needs to, and 23 degrees lower.
Okay, go ahead.
In the summertime, it will move lower.
Other way. In the summertime, you're pulling it towards you.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, I get that now.
Because north is that way.
In the summertime, the solar tracker.
Start it again.
Sorry. In the summertime, the solar tracker will move higher, and in the wintertime, the solar tracker will move lower.
Okay, one more time.
Sorry, that word is confusing.
Just if you
Remember, it
pause.
doesn't have to go very far. So right now you're at about 30 degrees. So that's already beyond what it'll end up doing. So it's going to go in the summertime. It's there. In the wintertime, it's there. Okay.
Okay. In the summertime, the solar tracker is here, and in the wintertime, it is down here. The solar tracker will have a microcomputer in it that will track the date and time and will automatically change the position of the reflectors.
Good. Do it one more time without, and so that you don't, because now
Don't
that
look
you
at me,
have
look at the
now that
camera.
you have the idea, so that you don't pause.
Okay. The solar tracker will have a microcomputer on it that will control the movement of
What's it controlling the movement of?
not
Motors.
Yeah,
There will be a motor.
a microcomputer.
I'm a writer.
A microcomputer will automatically adjust the reflector according to the movement of the sun.
Good. Okay.
One of the main components in this device is this object right here, the secondary reflector. What it does is, because this is a very low-cost project, this frame is not perfect. Light waves do not hit it accurately and do not directly bounce off toward the pipe. So in order to correct that, the secondary reflector is needed in order to redirect all the light that misses back onto the pipe.
What do you think?
That was great.
Okay.
Yeah, I was accurate. Rolling.
So this pipe right here is where the water goes in and becomes steam. When the light is reflected off of here onto the secondary reflector and back onto the pipe. In order to keep this though so that it doesn't lose heat and cool down, you're going to use these glass tubes in order to coat it. This will create a vacuum between the tube and the metal. This means that this insulator will prevent heat from escaping. Sorry.
That was good. It was good.
It was
You're
really
just
good.
you're just stuttering a little bit, but that all the words were great.
Yeah.
So the solar radiation passes through the vacuum.
Second. Go.
This right here is the tube in which the water enters and becomes steam within the.
That's okay. Start again.
Start
Start
again.
again.
I tried to do this correctly. Okay. So this right here is the tube from which the water enters and becomes steam in order to be used to create energy. However, due to this being metal, it can lose heat. So to prevent that, we use this glass tube, which will then have a vacuum within it. This vacuum means that solar radiation can enter, but convection and conduction heat cannot escape. So that means that this will stay warm and prevent any loss of energy.
Good.
That was very good. I am rolling whenever you're ready.
So steam. I did it. All right. Steam from the solar tube will flow into here, and this is the turbine. And then inside the turbine are these the discs, and the steam will come and hit them there, and start to turn them with the friction. And then the steam will exit from there. As the discs are spinning, they're turning on this axle, and it's going to spin the axle, turning this, which is a motor, and making electricity.
That was close. Try this.
Yeah, I guess.
You're starting with calling it the Tesla turbine.
This is the Tesla turbine. So steam from the solar tube will enter here and go out of there. Inside the turbine are these discs, and the steam will come in and hit them and turn them with friction, and they're going to be turning this axle. And the axle is going to spin the motor, which is going to make electricity.
I think that's great.
Show me where the steam comes in and out.
The steam enters here and exits there.
And then show me the axle.
This is the axle. And
Wait a second. Okay.
This is the axle, and these are the discs. So when the steam enters, it's going to be hitting the discs here and spinning them, and that's going to be turning the axle, which will turn the motor.
And make electricity.
And make electricity.
I'm ready.
This is an example of the solar Rankine cycle. This is the same cycle that
Wait,
all...
start again. I didn't have you in the shot. Okay, go.
This is an example of the solar Rankine cycle. All major steam power plants work this way. Steam is heated up to its boiling point and pressurized, sending it through a series of valves, and then the steam enters into a turbine, which causes the turbine to spin very fast. As that turbine spins, it's connected to an induction motor, which produces grid-connected electricity. But the steam exits the turbine, goes into a condenser, and is cooled back down to liquid water. That liquid water is then pumped back into the solar collector, which is heated again. So this is a closed-loop process going from liquid water to steam, back to liquid water, back to steam, back to liquid water. So that phase change allows us to create electricity. You ready?
I didn't go
Okay.
into it in depth. That was Anthony's thing. I was finding the
All right.
energy.
All right, quiet on the set.
This
Action.
is an example of the solar Rankine cycle.
Start again because I was talking.
Okay.
Okay, go.
This is an example of the solar Rankine cycle. All steam power plants work in this manner, whether it's coal or uranium or natural gas or solar. So in a solar Rankine cycle, the heat from the sun heats the water up to its boiling point, producing steam. The steam then goes through a series of valves and then into a turbine. This high pressure steam causes the turbine to spin very fast, which is connected to an induction motor, producing grid-connected electricity. The low pressure steam exits the turbine, goes into the condenser where it's cooled, turned back into liquid water. That liquid water is then pumped back into the solar collectors. This process goes from liquid to steam in a closed loop cycle. And in that phase change, it's allowing us to capture the energy and produce electricity.
Hey, we are rolling whenever you're ready.
Heat from the sun is captured in the solar tubes and through the solar plant, and it gets water to its boiling point, it's steam, and it's sent through a series of valves in which it goes to a turbine, and through the turbine it goes to an induction motor, which then feeds into the electric grid, and then the excess steam goes back into a condenser, which turns it back into water. It goes through a pump and is pumped back into the solar tubes to repeat the cycle.
I mean, if we could come and give a presentation there or to do something with that there.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it's very interesting to do that. Or we have invitation from GMS to come to give presentation there for the kids. So I think more than doing presentation is actually doing that, you know, steaming, boiling water through kind of harnessing the sun really, and maybe doing something like that, or spinning the Tesla turbine that we have. And I think this is something that would be very interesting, like what Mackenzie said. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, any other comments about the weekend?
How was the apartment?
The apartment, it was fine. It all worked. It was a little cramped, but it was pretty good.
Where was it located about the neighborhood?
We were, what's south, what? Where were we?
It was Pennsylvania, is southeast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The
You
bank.
said it was north.
No.
Am I allowed to check that? Because you
Yeah,
keep
you're
giving
allowed.
me different. You keep giving me different information for that. You said northeast, southeast.
Southeast.
So, we were,
It's the bad part.
Ah, it was a bad part of Washington.
Bad
Crime rate's
part.
low, but
I watched a
Washington.
thing about Washington where they did the de-urbanization outside to the southwest, and then all those people moved to where we were. It's mostly, you know, poor black families that were shifted because they were trying a new thing where instead of low, flat housing, they were going to do bigger apartment buildings, and that
we saw
the
that.
areas.
The entire area is being built up.
They were just bulldozing old homes and old buildings and building these new centers. They were divided. There wasn't like coffee shops on corners or anything. It was a housing area, an eating area, an entertainment. It was sort of interesting.
Are we in Alexandria or
No, we were
in the
Nearby
district?
Arlington.
Pennsylvania. No, Arlington is where where we went to
Were
the
we
restaurant.
Is that the other side? Or
Yeah, it's the Virginia
I'm trying to
part.
find
We
it.
were
Okay.
in DC area.
okay.
Go to Pennsylvania.
I'm on Pennsylvania. I'm trying to figure out. Because here's
Go-
Fort Davis.
No, go down here. There.
The forces.
Oh,
Well,
really?
He had a heart attack, fell, they got run over like 4 times, and then they revived him, then had another heart attack.
Yeah. And it was all, they would like animate the fall so you could get different angles and stuff. It was really crazy.
Cool.
And we saw Summer when he gets something to eat, something that he likes. He attacked 3 boxes of hard shell tacos.
Yes.
I
It was it was impressive.
Usually he eats like a bird, you know, kind of
Mhm.
small boxes and take one by one, and you know, but devour the.
Devour the tacos.
I have to make up for my lack of nutrition somewhere.
Eh?
Most of the tacos he
Okay.
ate didn't have anything on them either. They were just taco shells.
Oh.
No, he filled them with cheese, and then it poured on the plate.
I was just
And it
But
was
he didn't eat-
contaminated, so
You
he
wouldn't
couldn't
eat the
eat
plate.
He couldn't
Yeah,
eat from
yeah.
the plate, so he went and took
That's
a new
because
shell
in
taco,
olive, like,
put
because
cheese
in
inside, and then
olive,
again
like,
poured it
olive
within the
is
plate.
Okay.